This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus. Thank you for joining us tonight. An 83-year-old Sarasota man is facing felony charges after allegedly driving at and then swinging a golf club at a used car salesman. ABC7's Ray Collins joins us with the story and the video. Ray.
Yeah, Haley, the man thought he won a prize, but was told he had to buy a car first. And that's when his mood changed.
You just hit me with your car, sir. I gotta be a son of a.
Yeah, you hit me.
You hit my car. You hit me with that. I promise you're going to make the call 911. Don't ever do that. You just hit my phone.
This is not your typical interaction around a used car sale. The man seen in this video swinging the golf club is 83-year-old Lindsay Owens. Witnesses say he became incensed when he felt misled by a promotional flyer. It may have given the impression he would win a prize if he came by the car sale.
You're going to be downtown with the boys tonight. I won't be downtown anymore, Jack. I am the boys. I hope you like the boys. I am the boys. I hope you like the boys.
He did wind up downtown with the boys. In fact, here he is. Sheriff deputies arrested Owens and charged him with 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
The guy was like this. He was like, yeah, I'm 80 years old. He tried to beat people up.
Half a day later, the sales staff in the parking lot of the mall at 41 in Beneva was still talking about the incident the previous night.
He went in the trunk and got his stick, and he was about to hit me with it.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I jumped behind the car because when he ran in the trunk to pop the trunk, I didn't know what he was going for. I assumed, he's probably going for a gun or something like that. He came out with a golf club.
Salesman Neef Akbar confirmed Owens was upset he wasn't going to win a prize, as the promotional flyer indicated he might.
He had ripped his flyer up and threw it on the ground.
This woman also received a promotional flyer.
Another little thing that tells you to come out here and see if you can win something.
She didn't win and eventually went back home. We told her, though, about the incident the previous night involving the other resident, and she said that's not the way to handle disappointment.
That'll get the person who's swinging the golf club in a lot more trouble than just maybe saying a few nasty words.
She's right. Owens is facing 2 felonies, which could take him away from his job. By the way, he's a companion aide for a home health service. Deputies arrested Owens at his home. He was being held without bond and is now on supervised release. What a story, Haley.
Wow, hard to believe, actually, even if you see the video. And Ray, was this a local car dealer?
No, this was actually a used car sales event by a vendor from Port Richey, north of the Bay Area, just renting space in the mall parking lot.
Well, they sure had an eventful time at that event.
That's quite an event. Right?
All right. Thank you, Ray. A costly mistake in Northport today. The police department says the driver of a van confused the brake and the gas pedal. The van struck the International Food Store on Tamiami Trail. The business is temporarily closed until owners can make the necessary repairs. And now for a check on our forecast. We can feel the changes already coming in. Let's head over to John.
Yes, indeed. Rain showers have already come in about 3 hours too early, but nevertheless, they're sinking southward, and we are looking at clearing skies. Don't think we're going to see much behind this line as it moves through. We had another little line kind of building back to the north of that, but I don't think that's going to really affect us. Some of the showers out in Gulf waters produce some pretty gusty winds, but you can see if you look at the data, all the winds now north and south coming out of the northwest. An indication that we are in that frontal zone, that transition between the drier air to the north and the windier conditions that we're going to see tomorrow morning. Small craft advisories up for area waters, high surf advisories along the coastline. The surf could be as high as about 5 feet tomorrow, so obviously pretty rough conditions out there. Rip currents as well. Stay out of the waters tomorrow. Not a good day to be out on the waters. For the rest of the night, don't expect to see much in the way of showers after about midnight, followed by morning lows at around 56 degrees. So cooler days coming. Haley?
Thank you, John. The Obama administration struck back at Russia, announcing a public retaliation for an alleged cyber attack on the Democratic Party. And tonight, the Kremlin and President-elect Donald Trump are responding. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
It's the most forceful U.S. response to a state-sponsored cyber attack. The Obama administration striking back at Russia for trying to interfere in the U.S. election.
The sanctions today were aggressive and they were bold. and they're designed to send a message to Russia that this type of behavior is unacceptable.
President Obama is kicking out 35 Russian intelligence operatives, giving them and their families 72 hours to get out of the U.S. The State Department is shutting down 2 Russian compounds used for intelligence gathering in Maryland and New York. On Russian soil, economic sanctions against Moscow's 2 top intelligence agencies and military officials, including the head of the intelligence unit, also targeted 2 notorious cyber criminals wanted by the FBI, one accused of stealing more than $100 million. Not on the list, Russian President Vladimir Putin, whom the president called out weeks ago.
Not much happens in Russia without Vladimir Putin.
The Kremlin is promising to respond, accusing the president of trying to undermine a Trump administration. Donald Trump reluctant to accept intelligence findings that Russia was hacking to help him. In a new statement, Trump said it's time for our country to move on to bigger and better things, but he will meet with the intelligence community next week to get an update. The White House says that President Trump could reverse the sanctions, but that, quote, wouldn't make a lot of sense. The administration and Congress are still waiting on that broad intelligence community review of Russia hacking before Inauguration Day. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
The millions of people planning to pack into Times Square should brace themselves for heightened security measures this New Year's Eve. Law enforcement officers say there's no specific threat, but they won't be taking any chances. NYPD will have 7,000 officers on patrol on New Year's Eve, including 550 who were just sworn in this week. Some will be undercover looking for anything suspicious, both on rooftops and helicopters, as well as others monitoring the closed-circuit feeds from hundreds of cameras.
This will be a very well protected event, probably our most protected event with multiple layers of security.
People are expected to start gathering in Times Square as early as 8 o'clock Saturday morning. That is 16 hours before the ball drops. They won't be allowed to bring any large bags, and each person will be searched multiple times. Here in Sarasota, it will be much warmer. The annual pineapple drop will again be held at Lemon Avenue and Main Street. You can ring in the new year with ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, who will lead the countdown. And the Sarasota Police Department would like to remind you to stay safe. In the past, some people have celebrated the new year by firing a weapon into the air, which is not only dangerous, it's also illegal.
Remember, what goes up must come down. At the Sarasota Police Department, we just want you to celebrate responsibly and have a good time.
Police also advise the community to leave backpacks, coolers, and alcohol at home. If you don't want to get into all these crowds, ABC7 will be streaming the festivities of the Pineapple Drop live on our website, mysuncoast.com. And during that Pineapple Drop, several roads will be closed. Central Avenue will be closed from Main Street to First Street. First Street will be closed from Central Avenue to Pineapple Avenue, and then Pineapple will be closed from First to Main. For a complete list of all the closures, head to our website, mysuncoast.com. Straight ahead, John Scalzi will be back with the official Suncoast forecast. Plus, we continue our look back at the stories that shaped 2016, and one of the biggest by far was the presidential election. Plus, which business has been named the most generous place to work on the Suncoast.
Our community has its struggles. The fact is, people have less than they did just a few years ago, and sadly, the need becomes more profound every day. Season of Sharing provides funds to help individuals and families in need, ensuring they will not end up homeless and without a roof over their heads. Together, providing a helping hand and making a difference. Season of Sharing. Give today at cfsarasota.org.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Holiday scratch-offs are here, and oh, they make great surprises. Imagine the joy they will bring. With over $126 million in prizes, use them for a wreath or a place card for your feast. Attach them, scratch them, and let the magic happen. Holiday scratch-offs. The Florida Lottery has them. Just imagine.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Sarasota Institute of Lifetime Learning begins its 46th season on Monday, January 9th in Sarasota, Venice, and Lakewood Ranch. Meet Blair Tyndall, author of Mozart in the Jungle, on Monday, January 9th, and information and intelligence expert Terry Roberts on Tuesday, January 10th. 72 global issues lectures by renowned experts, 24 musical conversations with great performers. Tickets are on sale now. For more information and to purchase season tickets, visit SILLSarasota.org.
Well, John, that rain decided to come a little early.
It came a little early.
That's okay.
Yeah, came a little early.
Right as I was taking the dogs out.
Just
but
means it's out a little earlier.
Right. Well, that's
all.
okay.
And the winds probably picking up just about right on time. You know, probably around 1, 2, 3 in the morning. We'll start to see those winds really start to pick up. And then I'm excited. We've got some colder weather coming. Kind of cool. Right now, 68 degrees. The dew point's still high, but the winds now out of the north and breezy at about 12. That northerly wind, a suggestion of what's to come. Those dew point values will start to fall in about an hour or 2 or 3, and we'll see a morning low temperature in the mid-50s. So we'll be seeing a fairly decent drop in temperature. And once we get down into the 50s this morning, we're not going to rise much above the mid-60s. I don't think we will rise above the mid-60s for a daytime high tomorrow. Right now, 69 degrees in Arcadia, Mayaca, Lakewood, Ranch Parish coming in at 68. So is Bradenton, 71 in Venice and Inglewood, 70 in Northport, and Longboat Key comes in at 69. The frontal boundary, a frontal boundary is not a solid line. It's a zone of transition. And in this case, it's basically sitting right over us. We have started that transition into some drier, cooler air, and that'll be around for about 24 hours as that wind out of the north continues to develop. High pressure builds in, and we get some pretty breezy conditions around here by tomorrow. Now, the thing is, I think the combination of the cooler temperatures, which we are really not all that used to over the last month. We had a very warm month indeed, and we'll probably end up around 3, 4, around the third or fourth warmest December on record, maybe the 5th warmest, depending on how the colder temperatures by the end of this week really impact the monthly averages. So we're not kind of used to these cooler temperatures, so that'll be one thing. Plus, the air is dry. And dry air, when it gets a little breezy, really does cool off the skin very efficiently. So it's going to feel cooler than it actually is, kind of a wind chill factor, but not quite cold enough to be a wind chill. But still, it'll add a little raw edge to the feel of the air tomorrow. So the combination of all those things, I think, will make it sweater weather for a lot of people tomorrow, probably throughout most of the day. So the shower is kind of falling apart as they sink southward. We had some pretty good showers out in Gulf waters, you know, some gusts out there, which probably exceeded 30 knots or so. That line continuing to sink south, and there's really nothing north of it, so we're looking at some pretty dry conditions, I think, for the rest of the night once this clears Charlotte County. Temperatures are still, as I said, in the 60s around here, but the dew points to the north, and I keep referring to this, are continuing to fall in areas like Orlando, Jacksonville. They were already pretty cool in Tallahassee and Pensacola earlier tonight. And we are going to see those march southward so that tomorrow morning we'll have dew points that are probably going to be in the 40s and 50s around the area. A little bit of high fair weather cloudiness, but that's about all. The RPM computer model shows that front coming through, a northerly wind, a little bit of high cloudiness. Then watch what happens. The winds will start shifting over the weekend out of the east and then eventually out of the southeast or east-southeast. and that'll spell a warm up for us for the second half of the weekend. So we'll start out a little bit breezy and a little bit cooler tomorrow. Small craft advisory is up, rip current advisory is up, high surf advisory is up throughout the day tomorrow. Terrible boating day. And then we start to warm nicely over the weekend. For the pineapple drop, I think we'll probably have temperatures in the low 60s. Should be pretty comfortable. Haley?
Thank you, John. The Bradenton Police Department is searching for 2 men involved in an armed robbery Wednesday afternoon. It happened in the 2100 block of West 1st Street at the El Paso Market. The police department says one of the suspects directed the cashier to empty the register. The 2 male suspects then fled the store in a black SUV. Anyone with information should contact Crime Stoppers. Politics in 2016 was dominated by the question of who would be the next president of the United States. The current commander-in-chief made plenty of headlines of his own with the agenda for the final year in the White House. Karen Kaifa takes us back.
More than a dozen men and women began 2016 in the race to succeed President Obama. And with his finish line in sight, President Obama started the year at a fast pace, starting with an issue that, to his dismay, has shaped his presidency.
Charleston, San Bernardino.
Gun control, part of a busy first 3 months, and then the nuclear deal with Iran, moves that ruffled Republicans, and the first visit by a sitting U.S. president to Cuba in almost 90 years. But President Obama couldn't anticipate everything.
Justice Antonin Nino Scalia was a larger-than-life president on the bench.
Antonin Scalia, the court's most vocal conservative, died in February at age 79. In March, the president nominated Merrick Garland to fill the vacancy. Just months from a presidential election, the Republican Senate majority was determined to block it.
It is the Senate's constitutional right to act as a check on a president.
One consequence of an even-numbered court, a 4-4 non-ruling in June that effectively blocked President Obama's executive orders on immigration. As the primary calendar wound down, so did the number of candidates.
Today was the day where we hit the 1237.
We are all standing under a glass ceiling.
The heated presidential campaign would pit a political insider versus a billionaire outsider.
Friends don't let friends vote for Trump.
She is the candidate of the past.
Ahead of their first debate in September.
She's got experience, that I agree, but it's bad experience.
Why won't he release his tax returns?
October brought surprises. For Donald Trump, a vulgar hot mic moment revealed, and multiple accusations of sexual misconduct, which he denied. For Hillary Clinton, the FBI director's announcement that the agency was giving emails on the private server she used while Secretary of State another look. But the real political stunner came in November.
The President-elect of the United States, Donald Trump.
An upset that left Clinton just shy of history.
I know how disappointed you feel because I feel it too.
Days after the election, Trump came to Washington. The president-elect began assembling an administration that, along with GOP majorities in the House and Senate, will shape American and global policy in 2017 and beyond. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
As we look back at the top stories around the world and around the country, we're also taking a look back at the biggest headlines in Florida in 2016. The Associated Press ranked the Orlando Pulse nightclub shooting as the top story of this year. 49 people died on June 12th, making it the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. Some other big stories this year: President-elect Donald Trump winning Florida by 1.3 percentage points. It was a big win for Trump, as Florida is the nation's largest swing state. Behind Trump's win become the stories: the Hurricane Hermine and Matthew also making headlines, Fidel Castro's death, the Zika outbreak, and the controversy behind Florida's death penalty. Low-wage workers are celebrating a hike in Florida's minimum wage, but it's not a big increase. 19 states are set to bump up their minimum wages as the new year begins. Florida's minimum wage is set to increase 5 cents to $8.10 an hour. Massachusetts and Washington State will have the highest new minimum wages at $11 per hour. New York State is taking a different approach, with the wage rising to $11 in New York City, $10 in the suburbs, and $9.70 cents upstate. The United Way has ranked a popular supermarket as the most generous workplace on the Suncoast. The nonprofit named Publix the most generous workplace of 2016. The leaders are determined by their philanthropic contributions to the Suncoast during the previous fiscal year. Following behind Publix, FCCI Insurance Group, the Sarasota County School Board, Sarasota Memorial Healthcare System, and Wells Fargo Bank. Congrats to them. Sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
We have a very festive show tonight. We're all angry with what Chris Pratt has done on Instagram.
Bring it in!
What are we bringing in?
You'll see.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7 weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
At SWC Properties, we pride ourselves in providing to you the very best in customer satisfaction, and the secret's getting out. Maybe that's why so many people have chosen to list their homes with our friendly and qualified agents. After all, it only makes sense to list with a growing agency that markets in so many places. To list your home with SWC, give us a call at our office and ask for Eric Schrock.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Now, sports.
Another Florida football team competing in a bowl game today. This afternoon, it was the University of South Florida versus University of South Carolina in the Birmingham Bowl. USF takes an early lead in the first quarter. It was a big game for Quentin Flowers. The team is already up 8-0. Flowers fakes the pass, changes directions, and runs a long way to score the 4-yard touchdown. The Bulls lead 15-0. Skipping ahead to the fourth quarter, South Carolina trails 39-31. Gamecocks' A.J. Turner gets the handoff and scores the touchdown. The team trails by just 2. South Carolina with a 2-point conversion attempt, and it is good. The game goes into overtime. During the first play, Flowers rolls out to his right and finds Elkanah Dillon for the end zone for the touchdown. There it goes. And South Carolina, though, couldn't hold their own. USF takes the win 46-39. The coach had some encouraging words for the Bulls in the locker room.
And I just want to say thank you for every one of you guys. You guys have been unbelievable all year, but this last 3 weeks, I've never seen anything like it. You guys did everything we asked and more, but I want to take a special moment to thank the assistant coaches who have put everything into this program. And I'm looking around at every single one of them. They're true men, they're true leaders.
Much of the Bulls' win can be credited to quarterback Quentin Flowers. He acquired 5 touchdowns in today's game. He was also selected as the game's MVP. LSU and Louisville getting ready for the Citrus Bowl in Orlando. Today, the LSU marching band performed at the Florida Citrus Parade in Orlando. It's expected to be a great game. The Cardinals had college football playoff hopes for most of the season. Who can forget that big win against Florida State at the beginning of the season? As for LSU, the team had a bad start with 2 losses in the first 4 games. But they would end the season with a record of 7-4. The 19th-ranked Tigers will take on the 15th-ranked Cardinals on Saturday at 11 a.m. That game airs right here on ABC7. Tennis phenom Serena Williams is engaged to Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian. A rep for Ohanian says he popped the question while the two were vacationing in Rome. Williams first announced the news herself in a guess what Reddit post. Ohanian says that the announcement on Facebook page also was linked to Williams' Reddit post and added, "She said yes." Williams and Ohanian have dated since the fall of 2015, but managed to pretty much keep their romance out of the spotlight. Congrats to them. That's a look at sports. We'll have your lotto numbers straight ahead.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Sarasota, we're uncorking something special at Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room. Shop in a relaxed atmosphere with our wine specialists. You'll find 1,000 international wines, 200 under $20. National brand and boutique liquors at competitive pricing. Handcrafted beers. Stop by Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room today and let us show you something exceptional.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable.
G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
A follow-up now to a story we told you about last week. A Kansas girl who lost her foot in a lawn mowing accident is loving her new American Girl doll. It was custom made to look exactly like Lexi. She even has a prosthetic foot. The new doll, which Lexi named Isabella, also has a wheelchair that looks exactly like the one Lexi had for months. And in true girly fashion, both Lexi and Isabella have matching clothes as well. Very cute.
That's awesome.
That is. It makes her feel more comfortable, I think. Yeah.
I saw those dolls debuting on Good Morning America, and they're great, you know. They look a lot more lifelike, I
right.
guess.
And I mean, not every girl looks the same, right? So I think that it's important that they cover everyone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a good thing.
Well, enjoy the cooler weather. We'll see you back here tomorrow.